Hello, my friends. We're on day 24 of our reading challenge today. We're in Luke's Gospel, chapter 22, verses 24 through 38. I believe that's right. We're still on the day that we know as Maundy Thursday. We're still in the upper room. 2 readings ago, we had the Jesus washing his feet. They've celebrated the Lord's Supper. They've talked about the idea of service. Yesterday, Jesus talked about his glory and how that is centered in loving other people and loving each other as he loves them. Clearly, the idea of what Jesus was doing for the disciples and what that means and how they relate to each other is a main topic that evening. The idea of service, of care for other people, of laying down a life. At some point that evening, these disciples have this conversation, have this disagreement. Which one of them is most important? Which one of them is greatest? I don't know if this was before or after Jesus washed their feet. The 3 synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, all have the Lord's Supper in them. John has the washing of the feet. And so we're not sure where this conversation fits in because they're different accounts with different events that evening. But maybe this conversation about the greatest is what prompts Jesus to get down on his hands and knees and wash their feet. Or maybe the disciples are like us and just a little slow and forgot the lesson that Jesus taught them earlier in the night when he washed their feet and are back to talking about who's the greatest and who's going to be most important. Either one is possible. At any rate, Jesus again is reminding them and reminding us that we aren't greater than him and that we shouldn't be above doing the sort of thing that Jesus does. That's what he calls us to do. We serve in whatever capacity is needed, wherever, whenever we're called upon. And we confess our faith without wavering, as Jesus has done and will continue to do soon, even as he's confronted by the most powerful authorities in Jerusalem. We serve, we love, we confess. And then we get to the end, and the thing about the swords seems a little out of place because that seems to be contradicting what Jesus has said before. He sent them out before this and told them, don't worry about it. Don't bring a sword. Don't bring an extra coat even. Just go out and spread the good news. Reminding them to rely on the hospitality that the hospitality of those people that they encounter, that God is going to take care of them and that they need not worry. Now he's telling them to go buy stuff and get swords. It's not really a contradiction. I think he's simply recognizing and helping them to see that things are getting worse. They're going to face significant opposition over the next day and really over the rest of their lives. God's going to take care of them just as he's always promised, even as they do what they can to make sure that they're ready for what's going to come. And it's not that they need to get violent or that they're going to raise an armed rebellion. When they produce 2 swords, Jesus says, that's plenty, that's plenty. No, don't get any more. He's not raising a rebellion. He's not raising an army. Even though they're going to go out and face a group of armed people, even soldiers, when he's arrested, they aren't going to war. So it's not really that they need to get ready for violence. He's just helping them to see that they need to be ready for what's going to come. And a little preparation doesn't hurt anything, even as we rely on God's care and provision in all things. It's a very troubling conversation I'm sure these disciples were having with Jesus and even Jesus as he knows what's coming. So we'll continue this reading about this conversation, the discussions they have this night, for the next couple of nights, for the next couple of days' readings, pardon me. They aren't quite ready to leave the upper room yet, but they will soon. We'll read more tomorrow. God be with you.